Hello, y'all. How y'all doing? Me, I'm doing good. I have been resting my throat the past couple days, but I'm having pain in this area, so I have been taking a vocal break, except doing my podcast. That was about it. But let's get into the country playing skits, shall we? Amber and Shayla. How many of y'all came in my platform and said that Shayla ain't never gonna confront Amber? And I told y'all, yes, she was. Y'all said that ain't never gonna happen. I told you that it would. Some of y'all owe me an apology because I told y'all. If I'd have bet y'all, I would have won. If I'd have bet y'all that Shayla was going to bring her behind over there, I'd have won and y'all would have had to pay me. But I didn't bet. But anyway, the way that Amber handled the situation, I was okay with it, but then again, I wasn't okay with it. At the end of the day, the golly thing came in. Like she said, she did the same thing that Sheila did when it came to why did I get married. Cause that's pretty much where they got that from. You know, when I first seen you, I was gonna whoop that trick. I was gonna bust your behind. But ironically, I was just gonna pray for you. But stay away from the wine glasses. And you have a nice day. And don't tempt me, by the way. Now, if they'd went that route, that would have been even better. If she would have said to Sheila, you know what, despite everything you've done to me, now that I'm sitting here looking at your desperation, now that I'm seeing the fact that you're chasing behind my husband trying to figure out where he is, I really do feel sorry for you. And whether me and that man are messing around, we are still technically husband and wife. So whatever you got going on ain't got nothing to do with me. At the end of the day, when she called her a bottle feeder, she ain't lying about that. When she called her a baby mama, that was appropriate. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't even have gave her that satisfaction. The way I would have approached it was I would have said, you're here for what? You're here about my husband that I still have his ring on my finger. The man whose house I still live in that he hasn't even bothered to try to kick me out of. The woman that the man still comes to my house still trying to get back with me. The same man that you think you got a baby by is the same man that until I decide to give up his last name, I will always be the first that will have his last name. See, calling you out your name, it ain't even worth it. Because the one thing that you will never have over me is the fact that I had that man's last name before you did. And you may not ever get his last name. But like she did say, I can always get another Anthony. You are running around chasing my sloppy seconds. Now that is true. See, the way I read people is differently. I'm not going to go below the belt, but I am going to be honest and transparent. Because at the end of the day, I remember when I had somebody come at me about somebody and I told them specifically this: you will never be the first of anything when it comes to me. I'm the first one that has his child. Now, Sheila could say that I'm the first one that had his firstborn, but at the end of the day, if Amber would have never lost that child, it wouldn't have mattered. If she would have had a girl and you would have had a boy, y'all still would have had the first. It wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, you would have had his firstborn, but she would have had his firstborn daughter. You would have had his firstborn son. So it really wouldn't have made a difference. They both would have been the first of something. So again, it's about the first. It ain't about being afterwards. It's about to be the first. Anybody after the first, it don't even matter at that point. So at the end of the day, the fact that Shayla's never going to be the first one to have his name, I don't care how many times you trash that woman. That woman is the first one to have that man's last name. And that's all that matters. She has his last name. And nobody will ever be able to change that. No woman after that will ever compare to that. Just like Shayla is the first to have his firstborn son. Can't knock it for that. It's true. But the fact that Shayla tried to check her and then lied and told Piari and Zachary that she checked her, knowing you didn't. You kept asking her the same question. She's telling you to get off her porch. You know what I would have did? I'd have been like, sis, you really want to know what's going on? Let me go ahead on and tell you. But then again, no. What would I do that for? You know, just the fact that you're sitting here assuming that something is going on. I've already won. Just the fact that you're being insecure and you drove your butt all the way over here to come see me. I've already. Sorry. So, being the fact that you came all this way to find out, am I still sleeping with my husband? Even if I was, he's still my husband. I can sleep with that man anytime I choose to. That's up to me. But like she said, I'm unlike you. I'm not going behind you because I don't want your sloppy seconds. So I love the symbolism behind it. What I did not like is the fact that Zachary was right there when Anthony confronted her and tried to make it seem like Shayla was the one innocent. You know your sister's not innocent. You've been sitting here talking about how she's so wrong about what she did to Amber. And I understand that's your sister, but the way your sister has set up here and disrespected you, as many times as she talked about how you don't have a husband, you are still trying to build a relationship with two women that will never accept you. And yet, what happened? She's still going to go chasing behind that man. So even though, yes, he left, she threw something at him. She's been putting her hands on him. He's been staying calm about it. Because he knows if he put his hands on her, he's going to jail. What people don't understand is a man just can't react to a woman like this. He going to have to cut ties completely and get a restraining order. He going to have to get a restraining order against her. He going to have it where somebody going to have to come in and intervene. But Anthony, this is your fault. You could have told her when she asked you, did you want your wife back? You should have been honest and said, yes, you want your wife back. What you should be doing is looking into going to the court to do joint custody. What you should be doing is trying to be in the fact RB is technically on that birth certificate. Ask her why she hasn't changed it. If it is a possibility that Kai is not yours, then you need to request that. Go over there and get some of his hair, send it off, and have it sent to Piari's house, and you find out whether the child, in fact, is yours or not. That way, if he's not yours, you can leave her alone and call it a day. But ain't the direction they're going, though. But at the end of the day, it is chess, not checkers here. Anthony, when you was over there arguing with her, you could have told her it was over. Just for the fact that she went over there. What did you say? You supposed to be my piece. Not that it's over, but she's supposed to be your piece. Oh, okay. Why? When you could have just told her it was over with. So you still playing games. And I'm with Dalen on this. And the fact that Dalen said that you don't deserve her, that you done put her through all this stuff. And I love when Amber confronted him. She said, you couldn't even protect me when it came to having sex with her. You didn't even bother to use a condom. And you're right. And there's a lot of men out here that are cheating that will not use a condom. And then you bring your girl and your wife back STDs and HIV. Or STIs. And you claim you love your wife. Bro, when you got caught, you could have went home. You could have stayed in the other house, the pool house, and try to work things out with your wife. But where did you go? You went with Shayla. And then when you went to try to talk to Amber went to confront you, you ran and didn't even want to talk to her, talking about you wanted to wait till she calmed down. Then why was you over there with Shayla then? If you really wanted your wife back, you would have went and just said, you know what, Shayla, I can't do this. I'm going to work things out with my wife. No, you didn't stay and deal with the consequences and repercussions and karma of what you did. You ran. And now you want your wife back. But Mama Brenda, I know you ain't saying nothing because you want her back with her husband. But you know full well she should not go back to her husband. Especially after all of this. That's why you didn't say nothing. You didn't say nothing because now you're realizing why she shouldn't go back to her husband. And you don't want to admit you're wrong. But okay. At the end of the day, you know, there's a lot of ways the situation could be handled, but no, she handled it the godly way. But the only thing was, I wouldn't have called her a bottom feeder. Matter of fact, I wouldn't have called her nothing negative at all. Because at the end of the day, why am I going to even give somebody satisfaction to even say anything negative to somebody that's already negative already?